Hey there, treasure hunters. Quick question. Have you ever checked your spare change and thought, what if there's a fortune hiding in plain sight? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into one of the most intriguing coins out there. The 1980 Nomit Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert. It could be worth a mind-blowing amount of money. Yes, I'm talking millions. So grab your coffee, sit tight, and let's find out if that humble penny in your jar is actually your ticket to a dream vacation. Or, heck, maybe early retirement. Okay, let's rewind for a second and talk about what makes this penny so special. First off, the 1980 Nomit Mark penny might look like any old penny at first glance. It features good OL, Honest Abe on the front, just as you'd expect. But here's the twist. There's no tiny mint mark under the year. Normally, pennies from this time would have a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. If it's missing, though, that's where things get interesting. Why is the missing mint mark such a big deal? Great question. Coins without mint marks were typically made at the Philadelphia Mint, but in 1980, they did mark most of their coins. So, a no-mint mark penny from 1980 is incredibly rare, and rarity equals value. It's like finding the one sock in your drawer that doesn't have a hole in it. It's practically a miracle. Now, let's talk about the money. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. If you've got a 1980 no-mint mark penny in mint condition, think shiny and flawless. It could fetch as much as $1.7 million at auction. Yeah, you heard me right, 7 figures for a penny. And even if yours has seen some wear and tear, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's a pretty sweet deal for something you probably picked up in change after buying a candy bar back in the day. That sounds great, but how do I know if my penny is the real deal? Simple. Grab a magnifying glass and inspect it like a detective. Check for that missing mint mark. If it's not there and the coin's in great shape, you might want to get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. Think of it like taking your penny to the spa. They'll make it look good and verify its worth. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was digging through an old jar of pennies at my grandmother's house. She keeps everything, bless her heart. I wasn't expecting much, maybe a few wheat pennies at best. A 1980 penny with no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. Of course, I sent it in for grading, and guess what? It wasn't the rare $1 million one, but it was still worth $200. That's not bad for something that was collecting dust in a jar. I used that $200 to take Grandma out for a steak dinner. She still insists it was her lucky jar that made it happen. Don't underestimate your spare change. Coins like the 1980 no-mint mark penny are proof that treasures can be hiding in the most unexpected places. The next time you're about to dump your coins into one of those machines at the grocery store, stop and take a closer look. You could be holding on to a small fortune. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about spotting valuable coins, make sure to smash that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and stories to help you turn pocket change into big bucks. You never know. You might just discover your next big payday is jingling in your pocket right now. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, could this penny buy me a mansion? Well, if you've got a 1963 Abraham Lincoln penny without a mint mark, you might just be holding a small fortune, and I mean, millions of dollars. Yep, a little OL penny. The kind you probably toss into a tip jar or leave under your couch cushions could change your life. Today, we're diving into why this unassuming coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and why collectors are willing to pay insane amounts for it. So grab your piggy bank and stick around, because this is one story that might turn your spare change into serious cha-ching. Let's start with the basics. The 1963 Lincoln penny is iconic, featuring Honest Abe's handsome profile on one side and the Lincoln Memorial on the other. But here's the kicker. If your penny has no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, usually, a Philadelphia mint mark, or lack thereof, isn't anything special. But this particular year and penny? That's where the magic happens. Here's why. Collectors go absolutely wild for high-quality coins, especially ones with rare errors or unique characteristics. In 1963, some pennies came out with incredibly sharp details, perfect strikes, and no blemishes. Combine that with the lack of a mint mark and boom. You've got a rare collectible that can fetch top dollar. And when I say top dollar, I mean millions. But hold on. Before you start imagining swimming in a pool of gold coins like Scrooge McDuck, let's talk about what makes these pennies so valuable. The key is condition. A perfect, uncirculated penny, what experts call an MS 67 or higher, can command those jaw-dropping prices. A regular circulated 1963 penny, the kind you find in your change, probably worth just 1 cent. Sorry to burst your bubble, but hey, it's still a cool piece of history. Now, let me tell you a quick story. Last summer, I was cleaning out my old coin jar. You know, the one we all have that's filled with random pennies, quarters, and mystery foreign coins. I came across a 1963 penny and thought, could this be it? My ticket to early retirement. I spent the next hour Googling, holding it under a magnifying glass, and even calling a coin shop to ask. Spoiler alert, mine wasn't the $1 million version. But that moment got me hooked on learning about rare coins, and now, here we are. So how do you check if your penny is worth big bucks? Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass or loupe. Trust me, squinting won't cut it. Step 2. Look for that nomit mark. Step 3. Check the condition. If it's shiny, flawless, and looks like it just popped out of the mint yesterday, you might be in business. And step 4? Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll slap it with an official grade, and that's when you'll know if you've hit the jackpot. All right, let's wrap this up. Who would have thought that a tiny piece of copper could be worth more than a Ferrari? Whether or not you strike gold, or copper, with your penny, it's a fun and exciting way to connect with history and maybe even cash in. And hey, even if your 1963 penny isn't worth millions, you've got a cool story to tell and one more reason to appreciate those little coins jingling in your pocket. Before you head off to raid your couch cushions, here's my call to action. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth crazy amounts of money, rare finds, and strategies to grow your collection, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications, too, so you never miss a chance to uncover treasure in your spare change. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Who knows? Your next penny might just be your ticket to the Millionaires Club. What if I told you that the humble penny jingling in your pocket could be worth millions? Yes, millions. Sounds crazy, right? Well, hold on to your hats or your piggy banks, because today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1968 D. Lincoln penny. This little copper coin might just be your golden ticket to a life of luxury. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so valuable and how to spot one for yourself. Oh, and I've got a personal story about my own coin hunt that I think you'll relate to. Spoiler alert. It involves a magnifying glass, a flashlight, and way too much coffee. Let's get started. All right, let's break this down. First, let's talk about the 1968 D. Lincoln penny itself. The D stands for Denver, where the coin was minted. Now, millions of these coins were made. So what makes this one so special? It all comes down to a few rare errors and conditions that make certain 1968 D pennies extraordinary. The first thing to look for is a minting error. In 1968, the US Mint occasionally had a bad day, like all of us. Some coins were struck with double dies, which means the design appears slightly doubled. Imagine Abraham Lincoln looking like he's got a shadow twin on the coin. If you spot this, congratulations, you're holding a gem that could fetch tens of thousands of dollars. Next up is the condition. Coin collectors, or numismatists, fancy word for coin nerds, are obsessed with perfection. A penny that looks like it just rolled off the minting press is what's called mint state. If your 1968 D penny is graded at the elusive MS 67 or higher, you're looking at some serious cash. In fact, the most valuable 1968 D. Lincoln penny sold for over $100,000 at auction, and the right coin, under the right circumstances, could be worth even more, potentially into the millions. But let's not forget the copper factor. Did you know that pennies minted before 1982 are made of 95% copper? With copper prices fluctuating, even your average old pennies are worth more than face value. So dig out those jars of pennies. Who knows what treasure might be hiding in there? Searching for these coins. A couple of years ago, I became obsessed with the idea of finding a rare penny. I grabbed every penny I could find, drawer pennies, car seat pennies, even those crusty ones from the bottom of my washing machine. I sat at my kitchen table, armed with a magnifying glass and my phone flashlight. It felt like I was solving a mystery. Did I find a 1968 D worth millions? Not yet, but I did find a penny from 1943 made of steel, and let me tell you, I felt like Indiana Jones discovering the Ark of the Covenant. Absolutely. That 1968 D penny in your pocket might just be the jackpot you didn't know you were carrying. But even if you don't strike gold, or copper, in this case, the thrill of the hunt is worth it. Trust me, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips on coins worth money, treasure hunting strategies, and how to make the most of your collection. Plus, I'll be sharing more of my own coin hunting adventures, and you won't want to miss those. Let's turn those pennies into possibilities together. When's the last time you actually looked at your pocket change? If you're like most people, probably never, right? But what if I told you there's a penny out there that could be worth more than your car, your house, or even your college tuition? Yep, today we're talking about the 1976 D. Lincoln penny, aka the little copper coin that could make you a millionaire. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be rummaging through your couch cushions like a pirate on a treasure hunt. So, let's get down to business. What's so special about the 1976 D. Lincoln penny? First off, let's break it down. The D mint mark means it was minted in Denver. Shout out to the Rockies. In 1976, the U.S. was celebrating its bicentennial, and while everyone was busy with parades and fireworks, Denver was quietly cranking out pennies. Little did they know, some of these coins would end up being literal gold mines. Now, not every 1976 D penny is worth a fortune. Most of them, pocket change. But a select few, jackpot. The big money comes from rare errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These errors make collectors lose their minds and their wallets. For example, there was one 1976 D penny that sold for a whopping $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.7 million. For a penny. Let that sink in. You're probably thinking, okay, great, but how do I know if my 1976 D penny is worth big bucks? Well, here's what you need to do. Check the mint mark. Look for that tiny D below the date. Examine the coin closely. Use a magnifying glass if you've got one. Look for doubling on the letters, numbers, or Lincoln's profile. Check the condition. A coin in mint condition, what collectors call MS or mint state, is worth way more than one that's been through the washing machine. Get it authenticated. If you think you've struck gold, or copper, in this case, take your penny to a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer in my grandma's house. You know, the kind of drawer that has everything from rubber bands to birthday cards from 1985. I came across this beat-up little penny and thought, what if this is one of those rare coins I've read about? I took it to a coin shop, heart-pounding, visions of mansions and luxury vacations dancing in my head. Spoiler alert, it was worth 1 cent. But hey, at least I got a good laugh out of it. And a reminder to keep searching, so there you have it. The 1976 D. Lincoln penny could be your ticket to financial freedom, or at least a fun story to tell at parties. The key is to stay curious, do your homework, and never underestimate the power of a humble penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could change your life, literally, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next big tip on finding hidden treasures in your spare change. You're digging through your couch cushions for enough change to grab a coffee, and boom, you pull out a penny worth millions. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, we're talking about a little copper coin that could make that dream come true. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny. This isn't just any old penny. It could be a jackpot hiding in plain sight, so grab your piggy banks, your coin jars, or even that dusty box of old pennies you forgot about in the attic, because by the end of this video, you'll be sprinting to check your collection. Let's dive in. Alright, here's the deal with the 1979 D. Lincoln penny. First, let's break it down. The D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, and this particular penny has a fascinating story. Most of these coins are pretty standard. 99.9% of them aren't worth more than face value. But oh, That 0.1%, that's where things get spicy. Some of these pennies have minting errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or even weird defects in the copper plating. And it's those quirks that make collectors drool. A rare mint error can send the value of a humble penny skyrocketing into the 6 or even 7 figures. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny could buy you a mansion. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I found myself in one of those deep clean-the-house moods, the kind where you suddenly care about organizing every drawer. Anyway, I stumbled on an old jar of coins my grandparents gave me. I thought, hey, what if there's something valuable in here? So, I started sorting. Turns out, no $1 million penny for me. But I did find a wheat penny worth about 15 bucks. Not bad for 15 minutes of digging, right? I didn't even know what to look for back then. If I'd known about the 1979 D. Lincoln penny, who knows? I could be filming this from my private yacht right now. Let's talk specifics. The big-ticket 1979 D pennies typically have one of two things going for them: pristine condition or errors. If your penny looks like it just came out of the mint, no scratches, no wear, it might be considered a gem uncirculated coin. These can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars at auction. Then, there are the error coins. Double dies are the big stars here. This happens when the design gets stamped twice, creating a shadow effect. It's like your penny went to a funhouse mirror. Collectors lose their minds over these. Another error to watch for is off-center strikes, where the design is shifted, leaving part of the coin blank. These are worth a ton because they're so rare. And let's not forget tone coins. Over time, some pennies develop wild, colorful patterns due to chemical reactions. It's like nature's way of saying, hey, look at me. A beautifully toned 1979 D penny can fetch big bucks too. All right, folks, now it's your turn. Dig through your couch cushions, your car's cup holder, or that jar of pennies you've been ignoring. Look for the 1979 D. Lincoln penny and check for those rare features. You never know. You might be holding a piece of numismatic history worth millions. Before you go, I've got one last tip. Grab a magnifying glass. It's not just for detectives anymore. It's the ultimate tool for coin hunting. And hey, if you find something incredible, let me know in the comments. I love hearing those hidden treasure stories. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on finding coins worth real money. Who knows? The next video might lead you to the jackpot. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yes, a plain OL penny that could be worth up to $1 million. That's right, a single cent with a value that would make your bank account do a happy dance. So, grab your loose change, and let's find out if you're sitting on a hidden treasure. Spoiler alert, you might never look at pennies the same way again. What's the deal with no-mint Mark coins? In 1978, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced these Lincoln pennies without a mint mark. But wait, before you start raiding your piggy bank, let me clear something up. Not every no-mint mark penny is worth a fortune. In fact, most of them are still worth, you guessed it, 1 cent. But here's where it gets juicy. What makes some of these pennies valuable is their condition and rarity. We're talking about pennies that are pristine, flawless, and so shiny they could double as a signal mirror. Coin collectors call this condition amaze 67 or higher, which is a fancy way of saying almost perfect. And finding one in this condition is like spotting a unicorn at your local grocery store. Back in 2018, one of these rare, no-mint mark 1978 Lincoln pennies sold for over $11,000 at auction. That's the price of a decent used car for a penny. Imagine walking into a dealership and saying, "I'll trade you this for a Honda Civic." But wait, it gets even crazier. Experts believe that as time goes on, the value of these coins could skyrocket, potentially reaching 6 or even 7 figures for the rarest finds. Why? Because collectors are willing to pay top dollar for history and a little bit of shiny metal. Let me share a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer when I stumbled upon a jar of pennies. One of them looked different. No mint mark, sharp details, and it had this weird glow like it had been blessed by the coin gods. I got all excited and rushed to get it appraised. Turns out, it was just a regular penny. But hey, for a few glorious hours, I thought I was sitting on $1 million fortune. Moral of the story? It's worth checking your coins. But maybe don't quit your day job just yet. So how do you know if you've hit the jackpot? Check for no mint mark. Flip the penny over and look below the date. No little letter? Good start. Assess the condition. Is it shiny and free of scratches? The better the condition, the higher the value. Get it graded. If you think you've got a winner, send it to a professional coin grading service. They'll tell you if your penny is worth pennies, or a whole lot more to know. And one more thing, beware of fakes. Yep, people have tried to pass off fake no-mint mark pennies. So, if it looks too good to be true, get it verified by an expert. Alright, so now you know the scoop on the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. While not every penny is going to make you rich, it's worth taking a closer look at your spare change. Who knows? That dusty jar of coins in your closet might just be your ticket to financial freedom, or at least a really nice dinner. Before you go, here's the deal. If you found this video helpful or just mildly entertaining, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips and strategies to help you uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Now, go grab your coins and start hunting, and let me know in the comments if you find anything cool. You're digging through an old jar of pennies. Maybe it's something your grandma tucked away, or it's that dusty change bowl on your dresser. And boom, you stumble upon what looks like a regular OL penny from 1968. But hold on, my friend, because that little copper coin could secretly be worth millions. Yes, millions. Why? Well, that's what we're diving into today. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why a 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is such a big deal, how to identify it, and how much it's actually worth today. So, grab your pennies and let's get to it. Now, let's start with a little background. The 1968 Lincoln penny, classic design, Honest Abe on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. In 1968, the U.S. Mint was cranking out pennies in multiple locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, coins have a little letter to show where they were made. D for Denver, S for San Francisco. And if there's no letter, that usually means it's from Philadelphia. Some pennies from 1968 without a mint mark have turned out to be special. These aren't your run-of-the-mill Philly coins. A rare batch was struck with errors or anomalies that collectors go absolutely bananas for. One such coin reportedly sold for over $1 million at auction. I mean, who knew pennies could have a better retirement plan than most of us? Quick story. This reminds me of the time I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. He had this rusty coffee can filled with coins. I was just sitting there, sorting through them for fun and BAM. I found a 1968 penny with no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. This is it, I thought. I'm quitting my job and buying an island. It wasn't the rare one. But hey, at least I got a good story and $5 from my uncle for helping out. Lesson learned? Always double-check your change because you never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. All right, back to business. If you think you've got a 1968 no-mint mark penny, here's what you need to do. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe. You're looking for specific errors or details that make it stand out. These can include double die errors, where parts of the design appear doubled, or unusual wear patterns. The value of your penny skyrockets if it's in pristine condition. If it looks like it's been through a war, it might still be worth something, but probably not millions. For serious coins, you'll need to send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and assign it a grade. High-grade coins are where the big bucks are. Not every 1968 no-mint mark penny is valuable, but the rare ones have specific traits. Look for auctions or collector forums to compare your find. Now, let's talk money. A basic 1968 no-mint mark penny? Probably worth a cent, maybe a few bucks if it's shiny. But the rare versions with errors or unique characteristics, those are the coins fetching insane prices, upwards of $1 million in some cases. The exact value depends on its rarity, condition, and how much a collector is willing to pay. And trust me, collectors are obsessed. They're like that one friend who can name every Pokemon but for coins instead. So, what's the moral of the story here? Don't underestimate the power of loose change. That penny in your pocket might just be the golden ticket to your dream vacation, or at least a solid down payment on a card. Here's your homework. go grab your piggy bank, that jar of coins in your kitchen, or even the cup holder in your car. Check every single 1968 penny you can find. Who knows? You might just hit the jackpot if you found this video helpful, or if you just enjoy the thought of becoming a penny millionaire. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that are worth big money. Don't miss out. It's like leaving free money on the table. Have you ever gone through your pocket change and thought, there's got to be something valuable in here, right? Well, guess what? You might just be sitting on $1 million jackpot without even realizing it. Today, we're talking about the 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a little copper coin that's worth way more than its weight in gold. Yes, you heard that right. This seemingly ordinary penny could be your golden ticket to financial freedom. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why this coin is causing such a buzz in the numismatic world. Let's dive in. The 1994 no-mint mark penny looks like any other penny you'd find in your couch cushions or in that jar of spare change on your dresser. But what sets it apart is its rarity and the insane value collectors are willing to pay for it. Now, the no-mint mark part means it was minted in Philadelphia, where they traditionally don't put mint marks on their coins. That's normal. But what makes this specific penny so special is a combination of its pristine condition and a few unique quirks. For instance, some of these pennies are known to have subtle doubling on the obverse, the side with Lincoln's face. That's what we call a double die. And if you've got one of these bad boys in mint state condition, you could be looking at a coin worth six figures, or even more. Let me put it into perspective. In 2021, a 1994 no-mint mark penny in near-perfect condition sold for over $1.5 million at an auction. $1.5 million for a penny. I mean, imagine the irony. You're out here pinching pennies to save money, and one of those pennies could be the thing that makes you a millionaire. Speaking of irony, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I found an old jar of coins in my grandma's attic. Being the curious coin geek that I am, I decided to sift through them. Among the pile was a 1994 penny. My heart stopped for a second. I thought I hit the jackpot, but after close inspection, it turned out to be a regular old penny with no special features. Talk about a buzzkill. But hey, at least I got a good laugh out of it and a fun story to share with you. So, how do you know if your 1994 penny is the one? First, check the condition. The closer it is to being uncirculated, no scratches, no wear, the better. Next, look for any doubling on the letters or Lincoln's face. Finally, if you think you've got something special, take it to a professional coin grader. Trust me, it's worth the effort if it means potentially turning 1 cent into $1 million. Now, you might be wondering why anyone would pay so much for a penny. Well, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a passion and sometimes an obsession. Rare coins like this one are historical artifacts, and collectors are willing to shell out big bucks for a piece of history. So, what are you waiting for? Go grab that jar of pennies, check under your car seats, and raid your piggy bank. You might just strike it rich. And hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, who knows? Maybe you'll stumble upon another rare coin that's worth some serious cash. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips and strategies for finding coins worth money, and you don't want to miss out. Let's turn your pocket change into life-changing cash, one penny at a time.